I financed my sister's dream wedding. Then she called me pathetic in front of her new in-laws. So I canceled the catering, the photographer, and her dress pickup. She walked down the aisle to nothing, and I never looked back. Hey there. We're working hard to hit our first 1,000 subscribers. If you love true, emotional stories, hit that subscribe button. It helps more than you know. Now let's get into the story. I paid for my sister's dream wedding. $18,000. Every single cent. And the day before her big moment, she called me pathetic in front of her new in-laws and laughed. Not behind my back. Not in a whisper. Not even in private. She said it with a smile, like I was a joke she had already rehearsed. But let me rewind, because the ending makes a lot more sense once you know what came before it. My name's Ethan. I'm 32, single, and work in IT. I've always been the quiet one in the family. The one who got straight A's, skipped parties, helped dad fix the gutters, and never needed bailing out. My little sister, Kelsey, is 27. Gorgeous, loud, and charismatic. Always has been. She could have been an actress. Instead, she picked up just enough marketing buzzwords to float her way into a decent job and into the heart of Liam Dalton. Now Liam, he's not a bad guy. Comes from money, but doesn't flash it. We've only met a few times, but he seemed polite. I didn't think much of it until one day, out of nowhere, Kelsey FaceTimed me. Hey big bro, guess what? She sang. I'm getting married, and you're gonna love it. She was glowing. I congratulated her, of course. I really did feel happy for her. But then, she tilted her head and added with a pout. We're kinda stretched thin though, and Mom said you'd probably help out. You know, since you're not paying for anything like rent or kids or your own wedding. Huh. It stung a little, but I said yes, just like I always did. That's the part no one talks about with family. It's never one big ask. It's 1,000 small ones that sneak past your boundaries until suddenly, you're bankrolling someone's fairy tale. Over the next 6 months, I covered her venue deposit, full catering for 85 guests, hair and makeup team, the florist she just had to have, her photographer, custom place settings, and monogrammed favors. Every time there was a delay with their funds or Liam's family hadn't wired it yet. Guess who picked up the slack? At one point, I told her, this is really adding up, Kels. And she just blinked and went, but you're the one who said you wanted to help. She said it like I had forced her into this. But I held my tongue. I figured, okay, this is her big day. Maybe I'm just being too sensitive. Maybe this is just what love looks like. Sacrifice. Support. Even if it's not yours to celebrate. Now here's where it all snapped. The night before the wedding, there was a rehearsal dinner. Small, intimate, just immediate family and the bridal party. I was seated next to Liam's parents. His mom, Marlene, seemed friendly enough. Kind of cold, but not hostile. Then came the toasts. Kelsey stood, wine glass in hand, looking like a Pinterest board brought to life. And she gave this speech about new beginnings and family. She made a joke about Liam's awful cooking and about dad crying during puppy commercials. People laughed. Then she turned toward me. And of course, she said, a huge thank you to my big brother Ethan, who's been. Well, Ethan, she chuckled. Always responsible. Always available. Always single. But hey, he's our backup plan if Liam bails, right? Laughter. Loud, real laughter from a few tables. I sat frozen. Then she added, just to twist the knife, seriously though, you're the best, even if you are a little pathetic sometimes. I watched her new in-laws laugh. Liam looked stunned. My mom gave me this awkward shrug like, don't make a scene. That was the moment. That was when something in me quietly flipped. It wasn't just the insult. It wasn't just the public mockery. It was the truth behind it. She meant it. That's what killed me. All those years of being this safe one, the reliable one, the one who never got into trouble, she'd always looked down on me for it. I stood up before dessert. Didn't say a word. I walked out of the restaurant, got in my car, and sat in silence. The rage didn't come in screams. It came in steps. I opened my banking app, tapped the florist contact, then the photographer, then the venue. I didn't shout. I didn't throw anything. I just made 3 calls. And by the time I went to sleep that night, the wedding still existed, but not the way she'd imagined it. And definitely not with my money. When I woke up the next morning, I thought I might feel guilty. I didn't. I just felt awake. For the first time in a long time, I wasn't on autopilot. I wasn't just the guy solving everyone's messes while getting treated like an emotional airbag. I was thinking clearly, coldly, and I already knew exactly what I was going to do. At 8:15 a.m., I made one more call to the boutique where her custom wedding dress was being held. I was listed as the pickup contact since I'd put it on my card. They were polite. I told them the bride wouldn't be needing it. They paused. I didn't. Just box it up. She can sort it out Monday, I said, and ended the call. About 2 hours later, I got a group text from Mom. MOM, 8:53 a.m., Kels can't find her dress pickup tag. She thinks you still have it? Also, Liam's mom is asking about the photographer. Can you confirm their arrival time today? Not good morning. Not thank you. Not, how are you holding up after being mocked in public for funding this circus? I didn't reply. 3 hours later, I got a call. It was my dad. Now, my dad isn't the emotional type. If my mother's the family's PR rep, Dad's the guy who installs updates in the background and pretends they were always there. He cleared his throat the moment I picked up. Hey, so, I heard you left the dinner early. Yeah, I said flatly. Well, listen, your sister was just joking. You know how she gets. She didn't mean anything by it. I didn't respond. She's nervous, he added. Weddings are stressful. And Marlene's kind of intense. There's a lot of pressure. Still silent. Then he went in for the kill. Anyway, your mother was wondering if you could cover the tip for the shuttle drivers? It's just $400, but everyone's scrambling and you've been so helpful already. My blood went cold. I could actually hear it. That expectation they've all had since I was old enough to have a job and not enough of a spine. The idea that my worth was transactional. That being the responsible one meant being the one who owed them something. Always. No matter what. I almost laughed. But instead, I said something I'd never said before. No. Silence. No, he repeated. That's right, I said. I'm not paying for anything else. And honestly, you should all be glad I haven't taken anything back yet. Another pause. Is this about the dinner last night? Ethan, she didn't mean. She did. I cut in. And so do I. Then I hung up. For the rest of the day, I left my phone on Do Not Disturb and watched from the sidelines. I knew the pieces were already in motion. By 5 p.m., the florist had emailed a cancellation confirmation. The photographer left me a professional, mildly concerned voicemail asking if I wanted to reschedule for another date or release the contract entirely. Oh, and the venue? They hadn't been paid in full. So they downgraded the event to standard reservation, meaning no plated dinner. No servers. No custom menu. Just tables, chairs, and space. A glorified picnic with fancier lighting. But the best part? The guest list was already set. People were arriving from out of town. Her TikTok hairstylist had already flown in. And nobody realized what I had pulled. Yet, around 10 p.m. that night, I finally turned my phone back on. 15 texts. 6 missed calls. 1 voicemail from Kelsey, starting with, "What the hell did you do?" I played it once. Then again. Then I deleted it. I wasn't done yet. I woke up the morning of the wedding at 6:12 a.m. No alarm. No calls. Just this strange calm in my chest. Like my body knew something the rest of the world hadn't caught up to yet. The venue was about 40 minutes out of town. A historic inn with a giant oak tree in the courtyard and fairy lights strung between the branches. I'd driven Kelsey there for her first tour. She cried when she saw the space. Said she'd never felt so seen. She never thanked me for making that tour happen on my only free weekend that month. By 7 a.m., my phone was buzzing again. Kelsey, 7:03 a.m., Ethan. The florist isn't answering. Their website says canceled. What's going on? MOM, 7:11 a.m., please respond to your sister. She's having a breakdown. MOM, 7:25 a.m., Ethan, this is serious. Don't ruin her day over a joke. MOM, 7:58 a.m., she said she'd apologize if you just call back. This is immature. Immature. Right. I put my phone face down and made coffee. This wasn't some grand act of revenge. I didn't sabotage her dress or post a viral video. I didn't destroy her life. I just stopped holding it up. And without me, it collapsed faster than any of them were ready for. At 9:30 a.m., I finally picked up a call, not from my parents, not from my sister, but from Mrs. Dalton, Liam's mom. Her voice was tight, like every word was trying to hold itself together. Ethan, she began, I just got word the catering has been pulled. No hors d'oeuvres. No bar. No plated dinner. Is that accurate? Yes, I said. Why? I sipped my coffee. I didn't sign off on final payment. The contract's void. A pause. Then she lowered her voice. I don't mean to intrude on your family matters. But we trusted you. You were handling so much of this. We were counting on you. That was the moment it landed for her. That they hadn't just leaned on me. They depended on me. Because I was the safety net. The silent fixer. The one who made everything seem seamless so they could shine. No drama. No cost. No fuss. And now? Now they were flailing. Starved of the one person they thought would never push back. I know, I said. But I don't work for free anymore. I hung up. At 11:12 a.m., while the bridal party scrambled to salvage something, anything, the boutique called me back. They still had the dress. Wrapped. Unclaimed. And non-refundable. It was now boxed in the back with a handwritten note taped to the lid. Pickup canceled by primary cardholder. Inquiries must go through billing. Kelsey never saw it. She showed up at the bridal suite expecting her moment. Champagne in hand. Camera crew prepped. Bridesmaids flitting around in satin robes. That perfect viral video shot, where everyone gasps as she opens the garment bag. Instead, she found a plastic hanger. And an empty hook. She screamed. Like actual movie scream levels of rage. Threw a curling iron. Shoved a makeup tray. One of the bridesmaids ran out crying. They tried to calm her down. Told her it was just a mistake. That maybe it had been delivered somewhere else. But deep down, I know she knew. Not immediately. But by the time the venue manager pulled her aside to inform her of the downgraded rental status, by the time the DJ showed up confused because no reception instructions were ever sent, by the time the officiant whispered, "Do you still want to go through with this?" She knew. I pulled the plug, and I hadn't left a single wire dangling. By 2 p.m., guests started arriving, and what they walked into was not what had been promised. No string quartet, no signature cocktails, no floral arch, no photographer, just a woman in a backup dress, standing under a half-decorated tree, clenching her jaw so hard it could have cracked diamonds. Liam tried to make the best of it. He really did. I almost felt bad for him. Almost. But he had stood there laughing when she called me pathetic. So no, not anymore. She still went through with it. Somehow. Kelsey walked down the aisle in a backup dress, one of those off-white clearance gowns with crooked stitching on the back and a zipper that snagged when she moved too fast. Her makeup was rushed. Her hair wasn't finished. 2 of her bridesmaids had ghosted completely. Still, she forced the smile. Still, she pretended like this wasn't a total collapse. Like she hadn't spent the last 4 hours calling every vendor on earth trying to fix something she didn't even pay for. The guests tried to play along. They clapped. They smiled. They looked around, confused. No flowers, no photographer, no soft music in the background. The air smelled like warm mulch and dollar store perfume from the half-dead centerpiece candles someone grabbed last minute. And me? I watched from a distance. Not at the venue. I'd never give her that satisfaction. I sat in my car at the edge of the property, tucked behind a row of trees, just far enough to see her walk across the courtyard with that forced grace. Liam was waiting under a plastic arch someone had zip-tied together that morning. He was sweating through his suit jacket. His mother was fuming, arms crossed, probably still hoping someone would fix this before it showed up in pictures. Good luck getting any. As the ceremony started, I texted Dad. Me, 2:12 p.m., how's the wedding? He replied 3 minutes later. Dad, you shouldn't have done this. That was all. No explanation. No apology. No context. He didn't deny that it was Kelsey who humiliated me. He didn't question the amount of money I'd poured into this family. He just framed me as the one who crossed the line, because I'd finally drawn it. As if the real crime wasn't the insult. It was the resistance. But here's where it gets better. Right as the officiant began the vows, just before Kelsey was about to say, "I do," something happened. One of the venue staff, a young guy in a dress shirt and slacks, walked straight down the side aisle holding a small white envelope. He looked confused. Everyone stared. He stopped at the front row and said quietly, "Sorry, I was told to give this directly to the bride." The officiant paused. So did Kelsey. She stepped forward, took the envelope, and opened it. Inside was a single sheet of paper. Typed. Clean. Formal. It read, "Dear Kelsey, you said I was pathetic. That I'd always be single. That I was only good for footing the bill. You're right. I was your safety net. Not anymore. Enjoy the silence. Ethan." She stood frozen for a second too long. The guests whispered. Then she turned, wide-eyed, scanning the crowd for me. I wasn't there. She looked behind her. Still no one. Just an empty space where her stability used to be. And then she cried. Not the tearful, "I'm so moved" kind of cry. The ugly, choking, mascara-smearing kind of cry. The one that starts deep in your throat and comes out as a cough you can't control. She handed the note to Liam. He read it. And his face changed. I mean completely changed. Up until that moment, I truly believe he thought she was a little spoiled, but mostly sweet. A little dramatic, but kind-hearted. The kind of girl who snapped under pressure, sure, but who meant well. Now he knew exactly who she was. The rest of the ceremony was a blur. They still said their vows. But her smile never returned. And his? It didn't reach his eyes. Later that night, after everything had been cleared and guests began quietly peeling away, I got one last text from her. Kelsey, 7:48 p.m. You ruined everything. I stared at it for a long time, then typed 2 words. I know, and I never pressed send. She didn't deserve even that. I didn't hear from anyone the next morning. Not my mom, not my dad, not even Kelsey. But I did get a notification from Facebook. Someone had tagged me in a photo. I opened it expecting another generic, "Congrats to the bride and groom" post, but what I saw was something else entirely. It was a wide shot of the wedding arch, or what was left of it. The decorations were uneven. The fabric draped across the top was wrinkled. No flowers. No altar. Just two folding chairs behind a sagging table with a melted candle leaning sideways. And standing off to the side was Kelsey. She looked drained. Her eyes puffy, the emergency dress crumpled around the hem. Someone had done their best to clean her up, but it wasn't enough. Her hands were balled at her sides. I tapped the tag to read the caption. Congrats to Liam and Kelsey. Beautiful day. Bit of a hiccup with the venue, but hey, memories, right? Ring face with tears of joy. The comments were brutal. Where are the flowers? Did the photographer take the day off too? Is this before setup? Did they lose power? Some were polite. Most weren't. And the ones that really caught my eye? Those were from Liam's friends. One of them wrote, "You what happened?" Marlene looked pissed. "Y'all good." Another, "This was not what we were told to expect. Thought this was some fairy tale setup." Someone else posted a photo of the catering. A row of aluminum trays sitting on a folding table in the corner, covered with plastic wrap. Another guest, anonymous profile, replied, "Heard the brother bailed on everything. Took the whole wedding with him." So the story was leaking. Not from me. I hadn't said a word publicly. But someone was talking. And people were piecing it together faster than Kelsey could slap on another filter. That afternoon, I got a call from my uncle, Dad's brother. He's not one for drama. He lives out of state, visits once every 2 years, keeps to himself. But when he called, he didn't even say hello. "Ethan," he said, "was all this true?" "All what?" I replied, playing dumb. "That Kelsey called you pathetic. That you paid for the wedding. That you pulled everything. Because I've got half the family texting me asking what the hell happened." I stayed quiet for a beat, then said, "She lied." They laughed, and I stopped paying for it. That was it. He let out a low whistle. "Damn," he said. "Honestly, good for you. Been a long time coming." That phrase stuck with me. A long time coming. Because this wasn't just about a wedding. It was years of unspoken disrespect. Years of being the boring brother, the one with no girlfriend to show off, no fancy vacations, no wild stories. Just the guy who always picked up the check and never asked for thanks. Now they were shocked I'd done something selfish. But it wasn't selfish. It was honest. And now? Now they had to live in that honesty. I kept an eye on social media over the next few days. Kelsey tried to spin it. She uploaded one post with soft lighting and the caption, "Not everything goes according to plan, but love is all you need." She disabled comments. But it was too late. Other guests had posted real photos. The ones where the venue looked half dead, where guests sat on mismatched chairs, where paper plates sagged under grocery store chicken. A full Reddit thread had popped up on a wedding shaming sub, not from me, again, titled, "Bride's brother allegedly pulled funding the day before wedding. You won't believe the result." Over 1,000 upvotes. Someone had screenshotted the guest texts. Another shared a blurry photo of the empty bridal suite closet. And buried in the comments? A name drop. "Ethan." That's when Kelsey called me again. Voicemail. Her voice was panicked this time. No rage. Just desperation. "Please, can you at least clarify? People are making up stories. Liam's family is furious. They think I'm unstable. Mom won't stop crying. I didn't think you'd. I didn't know it'd spread." That's the thing. She always thought the truth would stay private. That no matter how badly she behaved, someone would cushion the fall. She never expected that removing the cushion would echo. 3 days after the wedding, I got one final message from Kelsey. Just 6 words. "You'll regret this. You really will." No apology. No acknowledgement of what she said. No admission of the thousands I spent or the way she laughed about it to strangers. Just a threat. But I didn't regret it. Not for a second. By then, the damage was done, and not by me. I didn't smear her name. I didn't post a video. I didn't contact a single vendor to warn them about her attitude. All I did was walk away. And without me, her whole dream wedding crumbled like a cheap cake. I kept an eye on her social media, just to see how long she'd keep up the illusion. For about a week, she doubled down, photos with soft filters, captions about resilience and grace. But the likes were lower, the comments thinner, and the ones that did show up? Awkward, confused. A few were subtle. "Wait, didn't you book the Meadowlark in? Thought they did floral arches. Where's the reception? This looks like the ceremony lawn. You look tired. Hope everything's okay." She deleted some, ignored the rest. But behind the scenes, it was unraveling faster than she could control. Word got around that the photographer was never paid, that the vendors were pulled last minute, that guests had flown in from 2 states away and gotten warm grocery store trays in place of steak and wine. Marlene Dalton, Liam's mother, was furious. She'd apparently gone full damage control, trying to reclaim what dignity her family had left after attending what she later called a backyard rehearsal pretending to be a wedding. Then, 2 weeks later, I heard from someone I hadn't expected. Liam. He emailed me. The message was short, clean, polite. Hey Ethan, not sure if you'll even read this, but I wanted to apologize for laughing at that dinner. I didn't know how cruel what she said really was. You've always been generous, and I should have spoken up. Anyway, I'm sorry. I hope you're well. It didn't change anything, but I appreciated it. I didn't respond. Some things don't need replies. By the end of the month, I heard from a cousin that Kelsey and Liam had postponed their honeymoon. Financial stuff, they said. Rumor was Liam's parents were reconsidering the support they'd offered. Their image had taken a hit. Photos of that ceremony had started spreading around the local wedding circuit, and vendors were whispering about a bride who got everything canceled 24 hours out. The nickname floated around some planners groups for weeks. They called her the ghost bride because nothing showed up. Not the flowers, not the catering, not the dress. Just a woman who thought everyone else would do the work while she posed for the pictures. And me? I took a vacation. First one in 4 years. I flew out to the mountains, booked a quiet cabin for a week, brought a stack of books, and left my phone off the entire time. Every morning, I hiked until my legs burned. Every night, I fell asleep without a single thought of texts or family drama or silent expectations. And when I got home, there was a letter in my mailbox. No return address. But I knew the handwriting. Kelsey. It was long. 5 pages. Rambling. Defensive. She tried to explain the joke. Blamed stress. Said I embarrassed her. Then, in the final paragraph, asked if I could help with the deposit for a postponed honeymoon. As a gesture of goodwill, I read the whole thing. Then I shredded it and went back inside. I haven't heard from her since. As far as I know, their marriage is still standing, barely. But even if it isn't, that's not my concern. I gave her years of support. I paid for every smile she ever fake posted about. And when she finally showed me how little she thought of me, I believed her. I don't regret pulling the plug. I regret not doing it sooner. And that's the story. If you're still here, that means you're one of us. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button. I drop new chaos every single day, and trust me, tomorrow's story, it's even worse than this one.